Welcome to week 72, and what we're looking at is another of the sayings of Wing Chun. This time a rather lengthy one, lots of characters involved, and in Cantonese it's pronounced Kui But Dong, Ngo But Dong, Kui Dong Ngo Sein Dong. We translate it as it is, literally. If he, my opponent, he or she, doesn't move, I don't move. If he or she moves, I move first. Now, when you first hear it, it sounds very strange. How can you move first if he's moving? Well, the idea is really to convey the concept that if your opponent is not committing anything and the distance is not right for you to launch an attack, then you're better off just waiting to see if your opponent is willing to launch an attack. If your opponent launches that attack, then that's the moment you capture their timing and you launch your own counterattack. Sifu Wong Shun Leung had his own variation on that. He would describe it as attack your opponent after they've launched their first attack and before they can launch their second one. And it also, we discussed this a little while ago, the idea of capturing your opponent when they're halfway across the river. It's essentially the same idea, just put into a different set of words. So I invite Wei Chung out to help me, as we've been doing in the last couple of episodes. So if we're facing off to each other and there's a gap between us, so I can't reach him and he can't reach me, this is not the ideal distance for me to go first. Because if I go first, I'm probably giving him my timing. So I'm better off at this distance, letting him commit, and when he commits, that's when I counter at the same time. So Kui But Dong, he's not moving, I'm not moving. He moves, I hit first. I move first. I get there before he can. Or like Sifu said, let's take a different example, a round attack. If he throws a round attack, I don't want to block it and then try to come in because he will already be throwing the next attack. That's too late. What I've got to do is when he throws that one, so when he launches his first strike and before he can launch his second strike, I've already hit him. So this is what we mean by the expression Kui But Dong, Ngo But Dong, Kui Dong Ngo Sein Dong. Just to expand on it a little bit, if the distance is right, in other words, if I'm within an arm's reach from my opponent, then Wong Shun Leung would always tell us, make the first move, because your opponent hasn't got a lot of time to respond. But the moment you're greater than an arm's reach, you are giving your enemy time to set you up. So this is a very important concept, that we don't move for no reason. So if my opponent wants to prance around and move around, I'll let him do it. I'll just stay where I am. And when he moves, that's my indication for me to move. My timing is now at my disposal. All right, thanks for your help, and we'll see you all next week.